Panathinaikos Basketball Club is the professional basketball team of the Athens-based multi-sport club Panathinaikos. The team also goes by the name of P.A.O, which stands for Panathinaikos Athlitikos Omilos. It is owned by Dimitris Giannakopoulos. The parent athletic club was founded in 1908, while the basketball team was founded in 1922. It has since developed into the most successful basketball team in Greece, and among the best in Europe. Panathinaikos has won 34 Greek Basket League championships, 15 Greek Cups, 6 Euroleague championships, 1 Intercontinental Cup, and 2 Triple Crowns. Among the well-known players that have played with the club over the years include Dominique Wilkins, Byron Scott, Antonio Davis, Panagiotis Giannakis, Dino Rađa, Alexander Volkov, Dejan Tomašević, Ramūnas Šiškauskas, İbrahim Kutluay, Nikos Galis, Antonis Fotsis, Fanis Christodoulou, Angstrom 1/2 Željko Rebrača, Arijan Komazec, Stojko Vranković, Angstrom 1/2 Žarko Paspalj, Dimitris Diamantidis, Angstrom Šarūnas Jasikevičius, Nikola Peković, Mike Batiste, Vassilis Spanoulis, Johnny Rogers, Fragiskos Alvertis and Dejan Rađa. Such players, the successful management of former longtime owners Pavlos Giannakopoulos and Thanasis Giannakopoulos, and the long-time guidance of the most successful coach in Euroleague history, Angstrom 1/2 Željko Obradović, have made Panathinaikos the most successful team in Europe over the last 2.5 decades. Panathinaikos is the only team on the European continent to win as many as 6 Euroleague titles, since the establishment of the modern-era Euroleague Final Four format in 1988. Overall, and on the basis of the club's achievements, in both Greece and Europe, Panathinaikos B.C. is the most successful Greek team ever. History, 1918 to Euro 1945. Panathinaikos started as a football club in 1908. In 1918, basketball was still unknown in Greece. During that period Giorgos Kalafiotis attended basketball games between the Allies of World War I, in Paris. When he later returned to Greece with the necessary equipment, he set up the Panathinaikos Basketball Club, led by Apostolos Nikolaidis. In 1922, P.A.O played their first match against the YMCA, a match which took place at the Pan-Athenian Stadium. Regrettably, the lack of equipment and interest quickly led to the dissolution of the team. In 1937, Kalafiotis managed to create a new Panathinaikos team that, during the following year, tried to catch up with already established clubs like the YMCA, Ethnikos Athens, Panionios, Aris and Iraklis. Angelos Philippot, Nikos Mantsaragla, Litsis and Dimitriakos were the ringleaders of the group and were later joined by Teles Karagiogos, Thimios Karadamos, Giorgos Bofilios, Philippos Papaikonomos, Petros Polykratis and Nikos Polykratis. During the German occupation that followed, P.A.O managed to keep the basketball team alive. Post-war history. In 1946 and 1947, Panathinaikos emerged champions, with the help of players like Giannis Lambrou, Mrs. Pantazopoulos, Stelios Arvanitis and Jack Nikolaidis. In 1950 and 1951, Panathinaikos emerged champions once again with the help of great athletes Fdon Mater and Nikos Millers. In 1954 the club would repeat the success, however the next 5 years would prove fruitless and the club, despite its strength, would have to be renewed. In 1961 Panathinaikos won the Greek championship with new leaders Giorgos Vassilikopoulos, Stelios Tavoularis and Petros Panagiotis. In 1962 Panathinaikos made the repeat and was again the Greek champion. That was also the year that P.A.O took part in a European competition facing Hapoel Tel Aviv for the European Championship. In 1967, Panathinaikos were crowned champions, with Giorgos Kolokithas as a Euro one of the greatest basketball players of his era a Euro in their ranks. In 1969, the conquest of the championship was followed by the first European success of the club, namely the entrance in the semi-finals of the Cup Winners' Cup, where it was eliminated by Dinamo Tbilisi. The next year, 1970, P.A.O were the first Greek basketball team to use a foreign player in a European game. The Golden Age 1970–1984, during these golden years, Panathinaikos won 10 out of 14 Greek championships with their great leader and scorer Apostolos Kontos. During this period, Marco Antonio de Venitis, nicknamed the Fox of Coaching, managed the team of the 4K. These players, along with Ioannidis, who functioned as a link with older players, won 5 consecutive championships and made the greatest accomplishment of their time by participating in the semi-finals of the European Championship, aided by American Willie Kirkland. Unfortunately, Ignis Varis, one of the giants of the era, proved an insurmountable obstacle for Panathinaikos. Over the next 4 seasons Panathinaikos captured the championship once in 1977 and also won their first Greek Cup in 1979. They acquired Memos Ioannidis in 1974 and Greek-American David Stigakos in 1979. The 5 years that followed, Panathinaikos won 4 championships and 2 cups. More specifically, in 1982, coached by Kostas Politis, Panathinaikos succeeded in winning their first double as well as placing 5th in Europe. Before this Panathinaikos got the better of a strong CSKA team in the last seconds of a thriller match. The last championship before the decline was 1984 when Panathinaikos won the Big Game title in Corfu, starring Liveris Andritsos and Tom Kapos. Panathinaikos had a great chance to avoid the upcoming decline when he discovered Roni Sikali, but bureaucratic problems prevented him from playing in the Greek Championship as a Greek citizen despite being entitled to do so, which forced him to move to the USA. The Great Decline 1985–1992. In 1985, P.A.O finished in 3rd place in the league. Stigakos, Ioannidis, Vidas, Andritsos and Koronios who left the following year were the key players. The balance however had now tilted in favor of Aris and Panathinaikos ceased to be a leader and were limited to a secondary role. Nevertheless, they remained a worthy adversary. Thus, in 1986, against all odds, they managed to eliminate powerful Aris from the Greek Cup at the semi-final stage. Then Panathinaikos went on to win Olympiakos in the final and conquer their last title until 1993. During the next 2 seasons, P.A.O would finish in 5th place. In 1988, the ban on using foreign players in the league was lifted and Panathinaikos were able to acquire Edgar Jones from the NBA. He was a capable shooter, scorer and rebounder and for the next 2 years was the star of the team. Although P.A.O achieved significant wins over the other major Greek teams, they did not manage any notable distinction. The next 2 years, Antonio Davis, who had later a great career in the NBA, replaced Jones as the leader of the team stats. At this point of time, Panathinaikos had also acquired some of the most talented young Greek players, but that didn't stop them from experiencing the worst period in the history of the club, finishing 7th in 1991 and dropping to 8th position in 1992, which left them for the first time outside Europe since 1967. Return to distinction 1992–1995. Nikos Galis was the man responsible for the rebirth of the team. With his effort Panathinaikos transformed into a very strong team, capable of claiming all the titles. However, his retirement during the 1994–95 season deprived the team of the opportunity to conquer any major title. In the summer of 1992, Panathinaikos attempted a full reconstruction of the team. Nikos Galis, the top Greek basketball player, was acquired by the club and was flanked by star players Stojko Vranković, Tsok and Arijan Komazec. Thus, Galis led P.A.O to a Greek Cup win and also to the championship final, where they lost despite home advantage. The next season 1993–94 Nikos Galis along with Alexander Volkov and Stojko Vranković led Panathinaikos to 3rd place in Europe for the first time in the club's history, although they didn't manage any title back home. The 1994–95 season started with the best conditions as the club acquired Panagiotis Giannakis in Angstrom 1/2 Žarko Paspalj. P.A.O was again the favourite for all domestic titles. The club started by eliminating Olympiakos from the Greek Cup in a very tough game before the start of the championship. However, after the first games for the Greek championship, Nikos Galis, the player that had led P.A.O in the cup game against Olympiakos and also in the decisive game for the EuroLeague qualifiers, left the team. As a consequence, P.A.O despite playing some great games only managed to retain third place in Europe and compete in the Greek Cup final. European, Intercontinental and Greek champions 1996 1998. During the years 1996 98, Panathinaikos fulfilled all of their objectives by winning the European Championship, the Intercontinental Cup and the Greek Championship. In 1996 the expectations in the team had now risen a lot, as it was imperative for Panathinaikos to obtain a significant title. In the summer of 1995, they acquired Dominique Wilkins, one of the top American players playing in Europe. The coach of the team was Bo Adar Malkovia. The former along with Giannakis, Vranković, Alvertis and Patrivukas comprised a very experienced team, which, in 1996, managed an unprecedented success for Greek basketball. Indeed, in April 1996, at the Paris Final Four, Panathinaikos became the first Greek team to lift the European Championships, beating FC Barcelona in a unique tournament final, by a score of 67-66. The final was marked by the dubious decision of the referees to not call the goaltending violation of Stojko Vranković in the last seconds of the game, as the latter tried to block a layup. FC Barcelona would later receive an official apology from FIBA. Back in Greece, right after the big win in Paris, Panathinaikos wasn't able to clinch the Greek title, losing the deciding Game 5 to arch-rivals Olympiakos 73-38. The next season, Malkovia removed all the stars from the roster in an attempt of assembling a squad that's based on teamwork. With the start of the season, P.A.O were crowned Intercontinental champions, prevailing by 2-1 wins in a 3-game series over Olimpia de Venado Tuito, South American champions. Unfortunately, the restructuring of the team failed and Panathinaikos failed to participate in the Final Four to defend their European title. Moreover, they finished in 5th place in the championship, thus losing the right to participate in next season's EuroLeague. At the next season Lefteris Subotic assumed technical leadership and convinced Dino Rađa to come to P.A.O. This great transfer was accompanied by Byron Scott and Fanis Christodoulou, and with the help of Alvertis, Economou and Koch, Panathinaikos finally won the Greek League after 14 years. The 1998 Euro 99 season proved very important for Panathinaikos, as Olympiakos, who had gained home advantage, were prepared to return to the top. It was at the last game of the finals that Panathinaikos achieved one of the most decisive away victories against Olympiakos, capturing the title. Obradovian-era Euro glory in Greece and Europe. The arrival of Angstrom 1/2 Željko Obradović to Panathinaikos during summer 1999 marked the beginning of an extraordinary period for the club, with many major successes and the establishment of the team as one of the strongest in Europe. The first thing that Obradović did was to adapt the whole team on Dejan Rađa, who was the absolute leader of Panathinaikos. As a result of the success of this strategy, P.A.O managed to capture 2 EuroLeague titles after 3 consecutive EuroLeague finals appearances and also won 3 consecutive Greek championships. Nevertheless, they failed to conquer the Greek Cup, even though they played in 2 finals. Rebrača, Gentile, Middleton, Alvertis, Kutaš, Kutluay and Fotsis were some of the players who excelled in this area. The dominance in the Greek League was finally interrupted in 2002, the year that P.A.O won their 3rd European Championships. Also at the end of the year, there were many significant changes, starting with the withdrawal of Rađa, making a renewal imperative. In 2000 at the Thessaloniki EuroLeague Final Four, Panathinaikos became champions of Europe for the second time, beating Maccabi Tel Aviv 73-67 in the final. At the Bologna 2002 EuroLeague Final Four, Panathinaikos brought to Athens the most prestigious European trophy for the 3rd time, beating hosts Kinder Bologna by the score of 89-83 in the final. 2002-03 was the year that Obradović used to restructure Panathinaikos and return them to the top of Greece. He emphatically achieved this objective by leading the team to 4 doubles and 2 triple crowns in the next 7 years, thus creating an empire. Panathinaikos had radically changed the style of their game after replacing Body Roga. The game contribution of the Serbian player was replaced by an unprecedented model of teamwork that proved that a superstar was unnecessary. Players such as Lakovic, Alvertis, Diamantidis, Fotsis, Tsatsouris, Batiste and later Spanoulis, Šiškauskas and Jasikevičius, who played not for themselves but for the maximum success of the team, led to the transformation of P.A.O into a title-winning machine that was not hampered by irreplaceable players, and this quality was widely recognized. At the 2007 EuroLeague Final Four, which was held on their home court of OAKA in Athens, Panathinaikos became European champions for the 4th time, beating the defending champion CSKA Moscow 93-91 in the final. The same teams competed in the final of the 2009 EuroLeague Final Four Berlin, where Panathinaikos won the trophy again, for the 5th time in their history. The score was 73-71. On December 14, 2009, Panathinaikos was voted top team of 2009 by the Sports Journalists Association, with 1,291 votes. In addition, coach Željko Obradović was voted the top coach, with 1,399 votes. At the 2011 EuroLeague Final Four, Panathinaikos, after a great performance of Galis, in the semi-final against Siena, won 77-69, and reached the EuroLeague final against Maccabi Tel Aviv. In the final, Panathinaikos won its 6th EuroLeague title, by holding off Maccabi Tel Aviv by a score of 78-70. 2012, present, post-Obradović era. After the departure of Obradović, the current Panathinaikos head coach, Žarko Paspalj, was forced to make massive changes to the team, with 12 new players being added to the roster, including NBA players Jason Kapono and Marcus Banks. Team captains Dimitris Diamantidis and Kostas Tsatsouris led the rebuilding effort for the Greens, who reached the EuroLeague quarter-finals, only to fall to FC Barcelona in a 5-game series. Panathinaikos won their 14th Greek Cup, by beating Olympiacos in the final, with a 3-point difference. During the same year, Panathinaikos was able to break Olympiacos' home court twice in the finals, conquering the Greek A1 championship for the 33rd time in the club's history. The club proved that it had moved on from the glorious Obradović era, towards a fresh new start, under new ownership and a new coaching staff, and that it was ready to contend once again for the EuroLeague crown in the 2013-14 season. Since Dimitris Giannakopoulos first became the chairman of Panathinaikos, he repeatedly attempted to secure marketing deals with Asian corporations. The first step was made when Panathinaikos announced that they had signed Chinese basketball player Shang Ping. This deal made Panathinaikos the first European club to have a Chinese player on its roster. On September 12, 2013, Panathinaikos landed on the airport of Gwangju, becoming the first European team to make a trip to China via airline. On September 13, 2013, Panathinaikos wrote European history once again in less than 2 days, becoming the first European team to ever face a Chinese team. In addition, Panathinaikos became the first European team to win against the Chinese team Foshan Draulians with a score of 66-67. On March 8, 2014, due to the fans' dissatisfaction for the bad record in EuroLeague and bad rotation, it was announced the team's head coach Žarko Paspalj had been fired. It was also announced that the team would practice under the guidance of the club's legend Fragiskos Alvertis. After the conquest of another double, Panathinaikos announces the recruitment of Duško Ivanović, on June 10, 2014. On the following day, Dimitris Giannakopoulos said at his press conference that a new plan has been created for the future of the club. The team would be totally based on young, Greek players. Also, he said that he would continue being the president of Panathinaikos only typically. Manos Papadopoulos would take over president's debts. On June 12, 2014, The plan is put underway, with 5 players leaving the club, including starting centre Stefan Lisman and small forward Jonas Moioulis. Players, current roster. Depth chart, retired numbers, for Euro Fragiskos Alvertis, SF, 1990-2009. Transfers, in, out, domestic competitions, Greek Championship, winners, 1946, 1947, 1950, 1951, 1954, 1961, 1962, 1967, 1969, 1971, 1972, 1973, 1974, 1975, 1977, 1980, 1981, 1982, 1984, 1998, 1999, 2000, 2001, 2003, 2004, 2005, 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011, 2013, 2014. Greek Cup, winners, 1979, 1982, 1983, 1986, 1993, 1996, 2003, 2005, 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009, 2012, 2013, 2014. European competitions, Euroleague winners, 1996, 2000, 2002, 2007, 2009, 2011. Triple Crown, winners, 2007, 2009. Worldwide competitions, Intercontinental Cup, winners, 1996, unofficial. Matches against NBA teams. On October 11, 2007, Panathinaikos played against the Houston Rockets, and on October 18, 2007, Panathinaikos played against the then-defending NBA champions, the San Antonio Spurs. Before that, he played against the Toronto Raptors. Matches against Chinese teams. Seasons, scroll down to see more. Fans. The team, which is famous for its fans' passionate support, also set a record for the highest home game attendance in the history of the EuroLeague, which is 20,000 fans, achieved at a home match in OAKA against Benetton Treviso on March 29, 2006, for the second phase of the EuroLeague 2005-06. An attendance of 18,900 fans has also been achieved 3 times in home matches of the Greens, against IFS Pilsen in 2005 and TAU Ceramica in 2006. While P.A.O. no longer holds the record for largest EuroLeague home crowd, it still holds the honor of being involved in the record match. Euro P.A.O. was the opponent for Partizan Belgrade when it drew 22,567 to Belgrade Arena for a 2009 match. Currency record was broken again on April 18, 2013 on 4th EuroLeague game, 2012 Euro 13 EuroLeague quarter-finals EuroLeague 2012-13 against FC Barcelona Basket. It was estimated that the number of viewers reached 30,000, a match for which Panathinaikos was called to pay a fine of €30 for overcrowding the arena. 1. International record. The road to the 6 EuroLeague victories, less significant European successes. Panathinaikos has advanced to the Final Four of the EuroLeague another 5 times, Tel Aviv in 1994, Zaragoza in 1995, Paris in 2001, Moscow in 2005 and Istanbul in 2012. Other significant successes are, the 2 participations in the semi-finals of the Cup Winners' Cup, as well as the road to the semi-finals of the Champions' Cup for the season 1971 Euro 72. In the 1981 Euro 82 season, Panathinaikos participated in the finals of the Champions' Cup at that time, eliminating the teams of CSKA Moscow and Levski Sofia in that order. Season-by-season records. Notable players. To appear in this section, a player must have either played at least 1 season for the club, set a club record or won an individual award while at the club, played at least 1 official international match for their national team at any time, to perform very successfully during period in the club or at later previous stages of his career. Completed list of former Panathinaikos players by basketpedia.com. Top Panathinaikos players in games, points and rebounds in the A1 division, still active player. Last update, July 14, 2013. Notable coaches, Themis Kiomatsoglu, Kostas Politis, Boa 3/4 Adar Malkovia 1/2 Eljko Pavlia Evia, Slobodan Subosha 1/2 Eljko Obradović Arturi Petulukis, Fragiskos Alvertis. See also, Panathinaikos Women's Basketball, References. External links, Official website, Panathinaikos B.C. at Euroleague.net, Panathinaikos B.C. at Eurobasket.com.